In this video, we're going to be setting up the interactive notebook as well as going over Cornell notes. I'm going to start with setting up the Cornell notes because that should be the first step whenever you take any kind of notes, and the interactive notebook is there mostly to take notes in. So this is a pretty normal spiral bound 70-page notebook, and that's what I'm going to use today. So I'm going to start on the first page just to start. The way you set up Cornell notes is you draw two lines. The first line is about 2 inches from the left side of the paper, so somewhere about here. And you don't have to be so accurate every single time. You can just approximate it. It's about 1/2 inch from the red line. And then I'm just gonna draw a line all the way down to about 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 5 lines from the bottom of the paper. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. You draw another line going across left to right. Like this. So you are almost done setting up your Cornell notes. It's that easy. Now what this gives you is 4 distinct spaces to write in. One right here, and this is your heading. And the heading, as for me, is your name, the date, as well as the lesson name. So whatever lesson these notes are related to, your name of course, and the current date when you're taking these notes. And then you have 3 more writing spaces, over here, and down here at the bottom. The central location, the largest writing space, is for your notes. So any notes you ever take have to go here. And you'll take your notes, and let's say you're taking notes, and you were talking about a certain idea, and then you're jumping and you're talking about a different idea or a different topic. You skip a line and just continue taking notes. You only skip lines whenever you're switching topics or talking about a different idea. And you keep going, then you skip a line again, and you keep taking your notes. Obviously your notes shouldn't be lines, but they are for me. Then as you take notes, and you don't have to wait till the end of the page, you can do this, and it's actually preferred that you do this as you take your notes. You will, on the left side, this very small writing space, you're going to write down any big ideas or cues that tie into whatever idea was on the notes section. So for example, if right here I was talking about photosynthesis, I just want to write down here photosynthesis. If here I was talking about Charles Darwin and his maiden voyage, you might want to write down Darwin, or evolution, or maybe a date. If here I was talking about, let's say ecology, and we're talking about population or overpopulation, you can write down population control, maybe, if that's the topic, and so on and so on. Now the reason the sidebar exists is to allow you to quickly index to whatever notes you're looking for. So if you're looking for notes on photosynthesis, you don't have to scroll to your notes and then read the actual passageway to see if that's indeed the case or the notes you're looking for. Just have to find the corresponding big idea or big word that ties into the notes, and this way you know notes for photosynthesis should be somewhere here. It could be a lot more specific than that. Photosynthesis is a very broad topic. Maybe we're talking about chlorophyll or respiration or something else that's related. On the bottom here, and these aren't just big ideas or cues, can be questions as well. So if you, for example, had a question, we're talking about anatomy, and you had a question about what's a skeletal muscle. So what is a skeletal muscle? Um, question mark? That's fine too. Questions are great. This way you know to ask these questions later, and maybe the question is answered in your notes. That's another way to tie in big ideas to your notes, not just pull out a word, but ask a question. So what is a skeletal muscle? Well, the answer is right here in this section of notes. The bottom here is for summaries, where you summarize your notes. You don't write your notes again, you will run out of space, but here is a brief outline of what you talked about that day in class. And you go home, you take a look at your side cues, you take a look at your notes, and you just write a brief summary. Typically 3 to 4 sentences. It should fill out this little bit of space here, give or take. So those are the 4 parts of Cornell notes that you need to worry about: the heading, the big section for notes, the left side here, which you fill in as you take notes. You don't wait till the day after or after class to fill this in. You fill this in as you take notes. I'll typically give you a minute or so. I might even remind you early on. This might be a good time to fill in that left side or the cue big idea side. The summaries are almost always done outside of class on your own time. I love to do this for homework. A lot of times I'll assign these as homework, finish summaries for X notes. And this is how you set it up. 2 lines, 2 inches from the left side of the paper, and about 4 or 5 lines from the bottom of the paper. And there you go. And don't forget to number your pages as well. And I'll tell you what number each page should be. That's how you're going to index the assignments later on for your interactive notebook, which I'm going to talk about next.